as he does not operate within any definable branch of government. Iron Man presents a potential threat to the security of both the nation and to her interests. I did, however, go on to summarize that the benefits of Iron Man far outweigh the liabilities, and that it would be in our interest to fold Mr. Stark into the existing chain of command.
I'm not a joiner, but I'll consider Secretary of Defense, if you ask nice. We can amend the hours a little bit.
I'd like to go on and show, if I may, the imagery that's connected to your report.
I believe it is somewhat premature to reveal these images to the general public at this time.
Colonel, I understand, and if you could just narrate those for us, we'd be very grateful.
The images. Intelligence suggests that the devices seen in these photos are in fact attempts at making manned copies of Mr. Stark's suit. This has been corroborated by our allies and local intelligence on the ground, indicating that these suits are quite possibly at this moment operational.
Hold on a second, buddy. Let me see. Something here. Oh, boy, I'm good. I commandeered for screens. I need them. Time for a little transparency. Now let's see what's really going on.
What does he do?
If you'll direct your attention to said screens, I believe that's North Korea.
Can you turn that off? Take it off?
Iran. No grave immediate threat here. Is that Justin Hammer?
Right leg up.
How did Hammer get in the game?
Arm up.
Justin, you're on TV. Focus up.
Okay, it's be a left switch. Left is going to turn to the right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say most countries 5-10 years away. Hammer Industries 20. It's working. We're safe. America is secure. You want my property? You can't have it. But I did you a big favor. I have successfully privatized world peace.
We're adjourned. We're adjourned for the day.
Okay.
You've been a delight.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. So we got all this Avengers 4 stuff going on, but as we start to find new Easter eggs recontextualized because of stuff that's been happening the last couple of years, you may have spotted this Illuminati Easter egg from back in Iron Man 2, which now feels like a much more real thing given what's happening with the Fox Disney deal. So if you're brand new to the channel, there's a new round of that Infinity War Blu-ray giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. The movie's been out for a long time, so you may have actually spotted this when you rewatched it, but it's on his phone there when he's pulling up the app to take over the screen and talk about these alternate suits that are being made by other countries. There's a little app in the upper right-hand corner that says Illuminati, and that's just Kevin Feige sort of laying in the groundwork for stuff that may or may not happen in the future. Like, it's a cool Easter egg for the fans, but there are things like at the end of the movie in the post-credits scene where they're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers initiative, where they put Black Panther in Wakanda on that map.
I'm in a stable-ish relationship.
Which leads us to believe at this juncture we'd only like to use you as a consultant.
You can't afford me. Then again, I will waive my customary retainer in exchange for a small favor.
Now, originally, they thought that they might get to Black Panther eventually, but it was so far away from them being able to pay that off that you didn't know, anything could happen in that 8-year time span. And talk about Illuminati, I've mentioned this before, but Namor, a member of the Illuminati originally, is actually right here on the map. This dot right here is Atlantis. And even though there have been some distribution problems with them doing a Namor movie that have prevented him from showing up before, there are a lot of people that think that we might actually see him in the next couple of years. But just because they don't have Namor doesn't mean they can't do Illuminati. Even if they didn't get the X-Men through the Disney deal, they already have so many Illuminati members within the MCU right now that they could just do their own version of it. It's always been an alternate version of the universe just because they never had those X-Men characters. If they didn't get Spider-Man, they would have done a different version of Civil War. Ant-Man would have been a bigger character. They might have actually used the Wasp character. So the other thing about this now too is that you rewatch the scene, and originally it's just Rhodey talking about how he feels like Iron Man isn't serving the interests of the people of the United States. But now, given all the movies that we've seen so far and what we know is coming in Phase 4, especially with all these X-Men characters, you think about that speech operating outside the government is basically a template for what the Illuminati do, a shadow version that's made up of the most powerful members of the superhero teams inside the Marvel Universe. Now, that's the comic book version. Like, we don't know if we're ever going to see a movie version of Black Bolt, so who knows what we're going to do with the Inhumans, because they were sort of the MCU stand-in for what was going to be the X-Men characters, but now that we have legit X-Men, we don't really need to do Inhumans unless they want to do something special with them. They started with Namor, Tony Stark, who was actually the person that put it together in the first place, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, Black Bolt of the Inhumans, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, and Professor X. The only substitution that I think that they would make to this is that they just wouldn't do Namor if they weren't ready to use him as a character in the MCU. You just do every other character. Professor X is really the linchpin. He's the guy you need to wait for before you could do something like this. But the reason for why Iron Man wanted to create the Illuminati in the comics is very similar to what's been happening the last couple of years and what we're going to see in Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. So what happened is inside the Marvel Universe during the 1970s, the characters in the wake of what happened during the Kree-Skrull War decided that there were some threats that were too great for the Earth to handle with just the Avengers or just the X-Men or just the Inhumans or the people of Wakanda. So Tony Stark, wanting to wrap the Earth in a layer of armor, wanted to create a shadow United Nations beholden to no specific world government to serve the interests of the entire Earth, meaning they would exist in a morally gray area and make decisions that not everybody would agree with. The whole idea being is that you have these great people that are heads of really great hero organizations doing shady things, super shady things, like using the Infinity Gauntlet to destroy other versions of Earth during the incursions. What's happening during Captain Marvel? We're getting our version of the Kree-Skrull War, even though that's going to be 20 plus years ago in this timeline's history. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, the more powerful Avengers characters will come out of Avengers 4 remembering everything that happened between the Snapshot and the way they fixed things, so they'll recognize how important it is that they have heroes working together, which is the foundation for why the Illuminati exists. Like, some threats are so great, especially, teasing the threats for Phase 4 and Phase 5. So bare minimum, it's probably going to be a while before we see a movie like that. I would say Avengers 5 is probably just going to be new Avengers with whatever the new roster is going to be. We can talk about that after Avengers 4. Then after that, they could build towards an Illuminati movie. Then Avengers 7 can be their Secret Wars movie in the way that Avengers 1, 2 built towards 3, which was Infinity War. So MCU Illuminati, who do you want to be on that team if they're not going to do Namor or say like Black Bolt anytime soon? Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, King Carlton. Please email me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. Click here to learn about the Deadpool 2 deleted Fantastic Four scene, and click here for that Avengers 4 title teaser. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.